The diner buzzed with the usual Friday night energy. Plates clinked against each other, conversations overlapped, and laughter floated through the warm air. For most people, it was just another evening meal. But for Ethan, it was never just dinner. Ethan sat in the corner booth, his daughter Lily beside him. She was only 7, her brown hair tied neatly into pigtails, her red dress bright against the soft golden glow of the diner's lights. Lily wasn't like most children her age. She was deaf, and while her eyes sparkled with life, the world around her often felt muted. To Ethan, being her father was the greatest gift, but it came with challenges. Dining out was one of them. Conversations flowed too fast. People rarely had the patience, and sometimes even a simple order could feel like an exhausting task. He glanced at Lily, who was doodling on a napkin, her small fingers occasionally moving in quick signs as though she were whispering secrets only her dad could understand. Ethan smiled. He signed back slowly, deliberately, his big hands making gestures that told her, "I'm here. Don't worry. Tonight will be nice." But deep inside, Ethan wondered, how long could he keep shielding her from the stares, the awkward pauses, the people who didn't try to understand? Just then, footsteps approached their booth. A young waitress, no older than her mid-20s, stood before them, holding a notepad against her red apron. She looked shy, almost hesitant, with her light brown hair tied neatly into a bun. Her eyes flickered nervously from Ethan to Lily. "Good evening," she said softly, her voice nearly drowned out by the diner's chatter. Then, her gaze landed on Lily, and she froze. Lily looked up, curious but guarded, as she often was with strangers. She signed something quickly to her dad, her little hand spelling out, "She doesn't understand me." Ethan gave a small, reassuring smile. He turned back to the waitress, about to explain, the same explanation he had given countless times before. "My daughter is deaf." He'd gotten used to the pitying looks, the awkward silences that followed. He braced himself for it again. But what happened next stopped him in his tracks. The waitress didn't look confused. She didn't force a smile or mumble an apology. Instead, she lowered a notepad, her hands moving slowly, deliberately, forming signs. Clear, confident signs. She signed directly to Lily. "Hello. My name is Anna. What's yours?" The world seemed to pause. Ethan's eyes widened. Lily gasped, her mouth falling open in disbelief. For the first time ever in a public place, someone other than her dad was speaking her language. Lily's small hands moved excitedly, too fast at first, then steadied as she signed back, "I'm Lily." Her whole face lit up with joy. And Ethan, he sat there speechless. His throat tightened, his heart pounding as though he had just witnessed a miracle. It was just a few words in sign language, but to them, it meant everything. The diner was still alive with noise, clattering cutlery, sizzling from the kitchen, bursts of laughter from a group near the counter. But at Ethan's booth, everything else seemed to fade. For him, time slowed the second Anna signed to Lily. He sat frozen, trying to process it. He had taken Lily out countless times before, and never once had a stranger spoken to her in her language. Never once had he seen his daughter's face light up like this in public. Anna smiled gently, her fingers moving again in that graceful rhythm of sign. "Nice to meet you, Lily. Are you hungry?" Lily giggled, a sound Ethan treasured more than anything else in the world. She signed back eagerly, "Yes, I want pancakes. With chocolate chips." Anna laughed softly, not the forced laugh of someone trying to be polite, but the kind that comes when you're genuinely charmed. She signed back, "Pancakes? Good choice. Extra chocolate." Lily's little head bobbed up and down, her hands fluttering with excitement. "Yes, extra, extra." Ethan sat back, his eyes never leaving Anna. His chest felt tight, but not in a bad way, more like overwhelmed. Here was a young woman who could have just done her job the easy way, taken the order, walked away. Instead, she had knelt down to Lily's level, spoken to her in a language that so few bothered to learn. And the way Lily's eyes sparkled, that was priceless. "Wow," Ethan muttered, almost under his breath. Anna looked up, noticing him for the first time since she had started signing. She flushed a little, embarrassed. "Sorry," she said softly. "I didn't mean to overstep." Ethan shook his head quickly, his voice thick. "No, please. You have no idea what this means." Anna's lips curved into a small, almost shy smile. "I studied sign language in college," she explained, tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear. "My best friend's brother is deaf. I picked it up over the years. I guess it just stayed with me." Ethan's throat tightened. He had spent years worrying about Lily feeling isolated, about people treating her differently. And here was this waitress, in a noisy little diner, effortlessly bridging that gap. He managed to smile. "You just made her whole night. Honestly, you just made mine too." Anna looked down, cheeks warming. "I'm glad," she murmured. Then, turning back to Lily, she signed again, "I'll bring your pancake soon. Anything to drink?" Lily signed quickly, "Milkshake." Anna grinned, coming right up. As she walked away, Lily tugged at her father's sleeve, signing furiously. "Daddy, she knows. She talks like us. Did you see? Did you see?" Ethan's vision blurred for a second. He blinked it away, forcing a smile as he signed back. "I saw, sweetheart. I saw. She's amazing, isn't she?" Lily nodded so hard her pigtails bounced. "Best waitress ever." Anna returned a few minutes later, balancing a tray with practiced ease. She set down the milkshake in front of Lily and Ethan's coffee on the table. But instead of just leaving, she lingered, her gaze soft as she watched Lily take a sip of a milkshake with both hands, a satisfied sigh escaping her. "She's adorable," Anna said quietly. Ethan chuckled. "Don't let her fool you. She can be a handful." Lily, noticing them talking, signed cheekily, "I'm an angel." Anna burst out laughing. Then, to Ethan's surprise, she translated aloud. "She says she's an angel." Ethan smirked, shaking his head. "See? Already teaming up against me." For the next few minutes, the booth that had once been filled with quiet tension now overflowed with warmth. Anna would sign little things to Lily while taking notes for other tables. Lily would giggle and sign back, her small hands flying with enthusiasm. And every time Ethan watched, a strange feeling settled in his chest. Gratitude, relief, and something else he couldn't quite name. But then it happened. From a nearby table, a couple in their 50s glanced over. The woman whispered something to her husband, both of them staring. It wasn't the kind of look Ethan liked, the kind that carried curiosity laced with pity. Ethan felt his jaw tighten. He'd seen that look too many times. He wanted to shield Lily from it, to tell the world to stop treating her like she was broken. Anna noticed too. She glanced at the couple, then at Ethan, and finally at Lily, who was still happily signing about pancakes, oblivious to the stays. Anna leaned closer to Ethan, lowering her voice. "Don't worry about them." Ethan let out a slow breath. I hate it. People looking at her like she's different." Anna's expression softened. "She is different, but not in the way they think." He met her gaze. There was no pity there, no awkwardness, just quiet conviction. "She's special," Anna continued, her hands moving gently as though she wanted Lily to catch the words too. "Unique. And honestly, the world could use more people like her." Ethan swallowed hard. He didn't know why, but her words hit deeper than he expected. And for the first time in a long while, sitting in that noisy diner, with his daughter laughing and signing with a stranger who felt oddly familiar, Ethan thought, maybe things didn't have to be so hard. Maybe, just maybe, the world wasn't as unkind as he believed. Anna excused herself to tend to other tables, but Ethan couldn't take his eyes off her. The way she moved, the gentle patience in her gestures, the kindness she carried so effortlessly, it was rare. He glanced at Lily, who was happily sipping her milkshake, swinging her legs under the booth. She caught him staring and signed with a grin. "You like her?" Ethan's face flushed. "What? No, I don't," he muttered out loud. Lily giggled, covering her mouth with her small hands before signing again. "Yes, you do." "I can tell." Ethan shook his head, chuckling despite himself. "You're impossible." But deep down, he knew his daughter wasn't wrong. Because for the first time in years, Ethan felt something stir in his heart. Something he thought he had buried. The sweet, buttery smell drifted through the diner as Anna returned with a steaming plate balanced carefully in her hands. Pancakes stacked high, golden brown, chocolate chips melting into little pools of sweetness, topped with a swirl of whipped cream and strawberries on the side. Lily's eyes widened, her mouth dropping open in delight as if Anna had just placed treasure on the table. Anna set the plate down gently, sliding it toward the little girl with a smile. "For the angel," she signed playfully, her fingers moving with ease. Lily clapped her hands, almost bouncing in the booth, before signing back, "Thank you. You remembered." Anna winked, signing back, "Of course. Angels don't get ordinary pancakes." Ethan watched, his heart swelling as his daughter dug in with pure joy, chocolate smearing the corners of her mouth. Lily was happy, more than happy. She was seen. That alone was worth everything. But there was something else Ethan couldn't ignore. The way Anna's smile softened when she looked at Lily. The way her hands flowed in sign language, not stiff or mechanical, but fluid, warm, like a dance she had long practiced and loved. She wasn't just communicating, she was connecting. Anna turned to Ethan then, catching him staring. He cleared his throat, suddenly aware he'd been watching her too long. "She's really something," Anna said softly. Ethan's lips curved into a faint smile. "She's my whole world." Anna nodded, her gaze lingering on Lily, who was happily stabbing pancakes with her fork. "She's lucky to have you. Most dads," she hesitated, biting her lip. "Most parents don't learn sign language themselves. They expect their kids to adapt, to struggle. But you," she stopped, her eyes searching his. "You're different." Ethan leaned back slightly, a bittersweet smile tugging at his mouth. "I didn't really have a choice." When Lily's mom left, his voice faltered, the words heavy. "It was just me and her. If I wanted her to feel safe, if I wanted her to grow up knowing she belonged, I had to learn. I couldn't let her live in silence." Anna's eyes softened with something unspoken. Admiration. Sadness. Something more. "You're a good father," she whispered. Ethan shook his head slightly. "I try. Some days I wonder if I'm enough. If she deserves more than just me." Anna tilted her head, her voice quiet but firm. "She doesn't need more. She just needs you. And from where I'm standing, you're doing everything right." For a moment, their eyes locked, the noise of the diner fading once more. Something passed between them, a spark neither of them expected, yet both felt. Ethan quickly looked away, his chest tightening, while Anna shifted awkwardly, pretending to check her notepad. But Lily noticed. She paused mid-bite, her little eyes darting between her dad and Anna, a mischievous smile spreading on her face. Her small hands moved swiftly. "Daddy likes you." Ethan nearly choked on his coffee. "Lily," he hissed, his cheeks burning. Anna blinked, confused, until Lily leaned across the table, giggling, and signed it directly to her. Anna's lips parted, her eyes flickering to Ethan. He groaned, dragging a hand down his face. "Ignore her. She makes up things sometimes." Anna chuckled, her cheeks warming as she signed back to Lily with a playful glint in her eyes. "Maybe I like him too." Lily gasped dramatically, her fork clattering onto the plate. She squealed in laughter, covering her mouth. Ethan, mortified, wanted the booth to swallow him whole. "Unbelievable," he muttered, glaring at his daughter, though the corner of his mouth betrayed a reluctant smile. Anna was laughing now, too, a soft melodic sound that seemed to ease the awkwardness. "She's got a big imagination," Anna said, though her eyes flickered to Ethan's for just a beat longer than necessary. As the meal continued, their conversation grew easier, flowing like they'd known each other far longer than half an hour. Anna spoke of her love for books, how she worked evenings at the diner to help pay off student loans. Ethan shared stories of Lily's adventures, like the time she tried to teach the neighbor's dog sign language. "She really did?" Anna asked, wide-eyed, leaning forward. Ethan chuckled. "Yeah, she spent a whole week showing the dog how to sign treat. Poor thing never understood a word, but Lily was convinced he was getting it." Lily, catching the gist, signed proudly. "He almost did. He wagged his tail when I said treat." Anna laughed so hard she had to wipe her eyes. I believe it. Honestly, I think she might have been onto something. For Ethan, something strange was happening. He hadn't laughed like this in years, not the polite chuckles he gave colleagues, not the guarded smiles he showed other parents. This was real, warm, easy, and it terrified him, because he knew better than to let someone in. He knew how dangerous it was to hope, to imagine something more than the little bubble he built for himself and Lily. He'd been burned before. His ex-wife had left when the weight of raising a deaf child became too much. She had said it was too hard, that she wanted a different life. Ethan had promised himself never again. And yet, here he was, watching a young waitress make his daughter glow in ways he hadn't seen before, watching her bring color back into a world he thought had gone gray. As the clock ticked on, the diner began to thin out. The older couple who had stayed earlier paid and left, the group near the counter quieted, and soon, only a few stragglers remained. Anna refilled Ethan's coffee one last time, her hand brushing his just slightly as she set the cup down. The brief touch sent a current through him he hadn't felt in years. He cleared his throat, forcing himself to steady. Thank you. For tonight. You have no idea what this meant. Anna smiled softly. You don't have to thank me. Honestly, it was my pleasure. Before Ethan could reply, Lily tugged on his sleeve. Her hands moved quickly, excitement bubbling in her eyes. Daddy, can we come back tomorrow? Please? Please? Ethan glanced at Anna, then back at his daughter. He wanted to say no, to keep boundaries, to protect both Lily and himself. But the way Lily looked at him, hopeful, joyful, he couldn't bring himself to shut it down. We'll see, he signed, earning a playful pout. Anna chuckled, kneeling one last time to Lily's level. If you come back, I'll make sure they save you extra pancakes, she signed. Lily squealed, hugging Anna impulsively. The sudden gesture caught Anna off guard, but she quickly returned it, her smile radiant. When Lily pulled back, Ethan noticed the shimmer in Anna's eyes. It wasn't pity. It wasn't obligation. It was something purer, a tenderness that reached past surface gestures and straight into the heart. And for Ethan, that was both beautiful and terrifying. As he led Lily out of the diner, holding her small hand in his, he glanced back once more. Anna stood at the counter, wiping a table, but when their eyes met across the room, she gave him a quiet smile. Ethan's chest tightened. Maybe this was nothing. Maybe it was just a kind waitress making a lonely night brighter. But as he stepped into the cool evening air, Lily skipping happily beside him, Ethan knew deep down, something had shifted, and life as he knew it would never be quite the same again. The next day dawned quietly, sunlight spilling across Ethan's small kitchen. He was rinsing dishes when Lily came skipping in, her hair still messy from sleep, her bright red dress replaced by a t-shirt with cartoon kittens. Her hands moved quickly, signing with urgency. Daddy, pancakes again today. Let's go back. Please. Ethan laughed softly, shaking his head. You don't waste time, do you? He signed back. Lily pouted, sticking her lower lip out in a way she knew weakened him every time. She likes me. She talks to me. Please, Daddy, just one more time. Ethan sighed. He should have expected this. Last night had meant more to Lily than he could explain. Someone outside their little world had met her where she was, instead of expecting her to adapt. Anna had broken through a barrier he had been afraid would always stand tall. But Ethan knew better. This wasn't a fairy tale. People didn't just show up and stay. They came, they made promises, and then they left. Still, when he looked into his daughter's wide, pleading eyes, his resolve faltered. One more time, he signed, emphasizing the words. But don't get used to it. Lily cheered, running to get her shoes. The diner was quieter that morning, sunlight streaming through the windows, casting golden pools across the checkered floor. Ethan pushed the door open, and as the little bell chimed, Anna looked up from behind the counter. For just a second, her face lit up. Then she caught herself, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear as if to mask the excitement. You came back, she said, approaching with a smile that wasn't forced but almost hesitant, as though she didn't want to admit how happy she was to see them. Lily signed eagerly. We came back for you. Ethan groaned. Lily. Anna giggled softly, crouching to Lily's level. I'm glad you did, she signed back, her eyes sparkling. They settled into the same booth as before. Anna brought pancakes again, extra strawberries this time, and chatted with Lily inside while Ethan sat quietly, sipping his coffee. He told himself to stay detached, to watch, not participate, but the truth was, the sight of them laughing together tugged at something deep inside him. Anna caught his gaze once, and for a fleeting second, the air between them seemed charged. She quickly looked away, busying herself with napkins. But the moment didn't last. Around noon, a man in a suit walked into the diner, his briefcase clicking against the counter as he sat at a. He ordered briskly, not bothering to look at Anna when she served him. But Ethan noticed something shift in her demeanor. Her shoulders tensed, her smile faltered, her hands trembled slightly as she poured his coffee. When she walked past their booth, Ethan leaned forward. You okay? He asked quietly. Anna hesitated, then forced a smile. Yeah, just someone I used to know. Ethan didn't push, though his chest tightened at the guarded look in her eyes. Whoever that man was, he had clearly left scars. Later, when the diner thinned out again, Anna slipped into their booth for a few minutes. Lily was busy drawing on another napkin, humming to herself in silence. Ethan took the chance. You don't have to tell me, but that guy earlier, he rattled you. Anna fiddled with her apron strings, staring down at her hands. My ex. We were together a long time. He didn't exactly approve of me spending so much time learning sign language instead of focusing on my career. Said it was a waste. Her voice caught slightly, but she shook her head. When I told him I wanted to teach special education, he said I was being unrealistic. That people like Lily didn't need teachers like me. They just needed to adapt. Ethan's jaw clenched. He wanted to say something sharp, to defend both Anna and Lily, but he swallowed it down. Anna gave a small, bitter laugh. So yay, he left. And now I'm here, just trying to prove to myself I didn't make a mistake. Ethan's heart ached at her words. He saw so much of his own past in haze. Promises broken, dreams dismissed, a heart left carrying the weight of not enough. Anna, he said quietly, his voice steady. Don't ever let anyone convince you that what you do doesn't matter. Last night, you made my daughter feel like the world wasn't built against her. You gave her something I've never been able to give her on my own. He paused, swallowing the tightness in his throat. That's not a waste. That's everything. Anna's eyes glistened, and for a moment, she didn't look away. Their silence was heavier than words, thick with the weight of unspoken feelings neither dared name. Then Lily broke it with a burst of giggles, sighing furiously. Daddy's making her blush. Anna laughed through the shimmer of tears, shaking her head. She's trouble, she whispered. Ethan smiled faintly, though his chest felt heavy. Trouble, yes, but maybe the kind that was worth it. That evening, as they left the diner, Ethan noticed Anna standing by the window, watching them go. She didn't wave, didn't call out, but her eyes followed them until they disappeared down the street. And though Ethan told himself not to think about it, not to let hope creep in where it didn't belong, he couldn't ignore the truth gnawing at him. Anna wasn't just a waitress. She was the one person who had broken through his walls without even trying. And that scared him more than anything. The week after that second visit, Ethan told himself he wouldn't go back. Not because the diner was bad. In fact, it had become Lily's favorite place. But because he felt something dangerous growing inside him. Every time Anna smiled at Lily, every time her hands moved gracefully in sign, every time their eyes lingered too long, Ethan felt his carefully built walls starting to crack. And cracks, he knew, led to collapse. But Lily had other plans. On Friday evening, she came home from school bouncing with excitement. She thrust a folded paper into his hands, her signs quick and animated. School fair tomorrow. They'll have games and prizes. Can we invite Anna? Ethan froze, staring at the messy flyer. Anna, he repeated, as if he hadn't heard correctly. Lily nodded eagerly, tugging at his sleeve. Please, Daddy. She's my friend. She understands me. No one at school does. Please. Ethan's chest tightened. He wanted to say no, to draw the line, to keep things simple. But the hope shining in Lily's eyes, he couldn't bring himself to crush it. He sighed. We'll see. He signed carefully. The next day, Ethan walked Lily to the fairgrounds. Colorful booths lined the park, balloons bobbing in the autumn breeze, the smell of popcorn and cotton candy filling the air. Children raced past, laughter echoing, music drifting from the carousel. And there, near the ticket booth, stood Anna. Lily spotted her instantly, sprinting forward, her little arms outstretched. Anna bent down to hug her, laughing as she signed, "You look beautiful today." Lily twirled, beaming, her excitement impossible to contain. Ethan caught up, a mix of relief and dread swirling inside him. He hadn't invited Anna. Lily must have slipped the idea herself last night when they'd stopped by the diner for takeout. "Hey," Anna said softly, her smile cautious. "Hey," Ethan replied, his voice gruff, hands shoved in his pockets. For the next hour, Anna stayed by Lily's side, playing games, cheering when she won a stuffed bear, helping her with candy apples. Ethan followed quietly, watching from a distance. He couldn't deny how natural it all felt, how Anna fit into Lily's world like she had always belonged. But that scared him more than anything. The turning point came when Lily spotted the school's parent and child talent show sign. Her hands moved furiously. "Daddy, let's do it. Please, we can sign a song." Ethan froze. Performing? In front of all these people? His stomach knotted. He hated attention. Hated the looks, the whispers. "Not today, Lily," he signed firmly. Her face fell instantly, disappointment clouding her eyes. Anna, kneeling beside her, signed gently, "Your dad is just nervous. It's okay. Maybe another time." But Lily's shoulders slumped. She hugged the stuffed bear tightly, refusing to meet Ethan's eyes. Guilt stabbed through him. Anna glanced at him, her expression unreadable. "She just wants to share her world," she said quietly. "Sometimes, saying yes means more than we realize." Ethan bristled. "You don't understand. It's not that easy." Anna's brows furrowed. "Then help me understand. Because from where I'm standing, she just wants you beside her." The words hit him like a blow. Old wounds tore open, his ex-wife's voice echoing in his head. "You'll never be enough. She deserves more than you." He clenched his jaw, his chest tight. "Don't tell me how to raise my daughter," he said sharply. Anna's eyes widened. Hurt flickered across her face. She stood slowly, stepping back. "That's not what I meant." But Ethan's walls slammed shut. "Maybe it's best if we keep some distance." Anna's lips parted, as if to argue, but then she swallowed hard and nodded. Without another word, she turned and walked away through the crowd, her figure disappearing among the balloons and booths. Lily turned to her father, confusion written all over her small face. "Why is she leaving? Did I do something wrong?" Ethan's heart cracked, but he forced himself to stay firm. He signed slowly, "No, baby, not you, just me." But as he held his daughter close, watching her fight back tears, Ethan realized something he hadn't wanted to admit. For the first time in years, he wasn't afraid of losing someone. He was terrified of losing her. The next morning, Ethan woke to the sound of silence. The fair had ended, and Lily was still asleep, her small hand curled against her stuffed bear. But Ethan's mind was anything but peaceful. He couldn't stop thinking about Anna, the way she had looked when he'd snapped at her, the hurt in her eyes, the gentle way she had tried to explain. Her patience, her understanding, everything about her had cut through the walls he had built around his heart. He sighed and knew he couldn't leave things like this. Not when Lily's happiness was at stake. Not when he had already seen how much Anna meant to her. By mid-morning, he found himself at the diner. The bell above the door chimed as he stepped inside. He spotted Anna immediately, arranging some menus behind the counter. She looked up and their eyes met, hesitant, cautious, yet filled with unspoken words. "Anna," he began, voice rough but steady. "I overreacted yesterday. I let my fear control me." Anna paused, then smiled faintly. "Fear is human," she signed. I want what's best for Lily." Ethan nodded, stepping closer. "I know, and I realized You've given her more than just friendship. You've shown her she can trust someone, that the world isn't just rules and walls and fear. You've given her joy, and I can't take that away. Anna's hands trembled slightly as she signed back. You don't have to. I just want to be part of her world. And maybe part of yours too. Ethan's chest tightened. He swallowed hard and nodded. Yes, I think I'd like that too. Later that afternoon, Ethan and Anna joined Lily in the living room. The little girl's eyes lit up like fireworks the moment she saw Anna enter. You came back, she signed excitedly, rushing to hug her. Anna knelt down and hugged her tightly. I promised I'd always be your friend, she signed, her eyes shining with warmth. Ethan watched silently, a smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. It was then that he realized the depth of his own feelings, not just for Lily, but for Anna too. The way she moved, the kindness in her gestures, the laughter that had filled their home these past few weeks. It had all woven into his heart, quietly but irrevocably. That evening, as dinner simmered on the stove, Ethan decided it was time to be honest. He sat across from Anna at the kitchen table, his hands folded. I need to tell you something, he began. I didn't just push you away because of the fair. I was scared. Scared of what I felt. Scared of letting someone in again after everything. Anna's eyes softened. You don't have to be afraid, she signed gently. We'll take it one step at a time. Together. Ethan's lips curved into a small, relieved smile. Together, he echoed. From that day forward, life took on a new rhythm. Ethan, Anna, and Lily spent more time together than ever. They cooked meals, played games, and laughed in a way that filled the quiet corners of their apartment. Anna continued tutoring Lily, but now their lessons were filled with laughter and shared secrets. Ethan joined in sometimes, signing slowly at first, then more confidently, learning a new language of love and patience. Weeks later, Ethan found himself watching Anna and Lily at the park. Lily ran ahead, calling out in laughter, while Anna chased after her with open arms. Ethan stood back, heart swelling, and realized that this was the life he had been unknowingly waiting for, one filled with trust, love, and connection. That night, as they settled in the living room with hot cocoa, Lily snuggled between them. I love you both, she signed, her eyes twinkling. Ethan held her close, feeling the warmth of family wrap around him. We love you too, baby, he signed back. Anna leaned in, resting her head on his shoulder, her hand finding his. This is home, she signed softly. Ethan felt it, the walls he had built, the fear, the loneliness, all of it melted away in that single moment. He realized that love wasn't about perfection or about being fearless. It was about showing up every day for the people who mattered most. Months passed, and life continued beautifully. Lily thrived at school, confident and happy. Anna became an irreplaceable part of their lives, her bond with Lily growing stronger every day. Ethan, once cautious and hesitant, now embraced every moment with them, learning the true meaning of family. And on a quiet Sunday evening, Ethan, Anna, and Lily sat together on the couch, watching the sunset through their apartment window. Ethan reached out, holding Anna's hand. Thank you, he signed, his eyes full of sincerity. For everything. For Lily. For me. For being you. Anna squeezed his hand, a smile spreading across her face. Thank you, she signed back. For trusting me. For letting me in. For giving Lily the love she deserves. Ethan's heart swelled. For the first time in years, he felt complete, not because life was perfect, but because they had each other. And Lily, lying between them, looked up and signed, family. Yes, Ethan whispered, tears welling in his eyes. Family. The room was quiet, filled only with warmth, laughter, and the unspoken promise of all the moments yet to come. In that moment, Ethan realized that love, patience, and understanding could change lives, that taking a chance, opening one's heart, and showing up for the people who matter could create a bond stronger than any fear. And sometimes, the most unexpected connections, a single dad, a devoted tutor, and a little girl with a bright smile, could weave a story of hope, courage, and unconditional love.